Okay. So you talked about popular destinations with the particular seasons.
Okay. Well, popular destinations with particular seasons, Hawaii. That's the first one. Uh, there's a great time to go to Hawaii is in spring around April or May.
Okay.
It's also excellent time to go in the fall, which would be like October, November. And you want to stay away from the rainy season. And sometimes in the summer, hot summer, it's going to be very hot and humid. So it's more popular to go on those like shoulder seasons times for them.
Hmm.
So April and October will be outstanding times to visit Hawaii. The Panama Canal, something that, again, you'll find about in that same time period you'll find it like in a lot in April, some May, you'll find it September, October, or October,
Okay.
November.
Okay.
And you can go from east to west, or you can go west to east. As a matter of fact, when I did it,
I think you
I
can also
flew.
go halfway and turn around.
Yeah, you can. I took a cruise where I flew to San Diego,
Yes.
boarded the ship in San Diego, and then sailed through down around Mexico and through the Panama Canal, coming out by Colombia
Hmm.
and up into Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And you can go the absolute opposite and start in Fort Lauderdale or Miami and go through and come up to San Diego or Los Angeles
LA.
or LA, and sometimes even up to Seattle or Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
And that's when the ships are transition. They're going to use those ships for Alaskan cruises.
Okay.
So when I say you
Repositioning.
Yeah, so a great time to go through the Panama Canal is when in April you're going to see them leaving Florida and they're going to want to get up to Seattle and Vancouver for the Alaska cruise period.
Okay.
And that's why you're going to find them then. And then you're going to find them going back
Mm, in
and
October,
yeah, exactly, because that's when they want, or September, they want to get back into the
September.
Caribbean.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the is Caribbean is anywhere from September all the way to April.
But you got
The
to watch
issue
out
with,
for that hurricane season.
yeah, the hurricane season generally ends by the end of November.
Hmm.
So, but I've been out in September and October. I've never had a problem, but that doesn't mean, it won't be, that's be a good
Yeah.
cruise to make sure you might have insurance on in case
Yes.
there's an issue. You know what I mean?
That's something we can talk about later on, insurance.
Yeah, something we can talk about later on. And so Caribbean is another one where you're going to find seasons. Mexican Riviera,
Okay.
you're going to find ships when some of the ships go up to Alaska. Many of the ships are going to port in Los Angeles and San Diego
Hmm.
and do what they call the Mexican Riviera, and that's down that strip along Mexico where all those fancy resort ports are.
Hmm. Is that
And
the
you,
Ensenada and
yeah, Ensenada is one of the stops. So all of those around Mexico, all those Mexican resort towns and fancy resorts.
hmm.
And so they call that the Mexican Riviera. And the Mediterranean, you're going to do that when the when they're not sailing the Caribbean, that's a great time. You're going to find many of the ships go over to the Mediterranean. So you'll find them there in early spring and even through the summer. Now, some cruise lines are going to continue to sail all year long in the Mediterranean or in the Caribbean,
Hmm.
but many of those are Carnival and MSC where they're just doing short 3 and 4 day trips. You'll find a lot going to Bahamas, take you to Nassau, take you to the big casino there. What is it, Atlantis?
Oh yeah.
And many of the close Caribbean islands.
Okay. Okay. Then you got Alaska.
Alaska, yeah.
Alaska.
I love it. That was a wonderful trip. I'd go there. I'd go back to that anytime.
So let's talk about your popular cruise ports then.
Well, when when you're thinking about when to go and you make a decision when to go, here are the most here are the cruise ports that these guys sail out of, these cruise lines sail out of. On the West Coast, you have Seattle,
Hmm.
you have Vancouver. You're going to be able to go in from Seattle and Vancouver a lot up into
Yeah.
Alaska.
Alaska. Yeah.
You're going to do Trans-Pacific, where they're going across to
From
Japan,
Japan. Okay.
and you're going to find that they're going to go from those areas to Hawaii
Why? Okay.
and
I think
San
some of them
Francisco.
even just cruise down California, right?
Yeah, well, San Francisco is where you're going to find. So you got Seattle, Vancouver, San Francisco. You're going to find that one will go to you can go to Hawaii from San
Oh,
Francisco,
sure.
but
Yeah.
you also get down to the Mexican Riviera from San
Hmm.
Francisco.
Yeah.
San Diego,
Hey, that's
you're gonna
me.
that's you. You're gonna get to do the Mexican Riviera as well as Hawaii and other South Pacific. So if you
Oh,
want
okay.
to, yeah, so if you want to sail out to Pago Pago or Tahiti
It's
or
probably gonna be a longer one.
Easter Island, or you're gonna be able to do that from San Diego. Galveston, as you start coming around,
In
Galveston
Texas. Yeah.
in the Gulf, that's you're going to be able to do a lot of Western Caribbean, which will include Cozumel,
Hmm.
very popular port. And then you come over to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Tampa, all of those three areas around Florida.
Hmm.
You're going to be able to do a lot of Caribbean cruises, um, South American cruises, Panama Canal cruises, transatlantic cruises.
Okay.
Well, where they'll take you across to.
Oh, okay.
So from there, you'll be able to go across to Europe, whether you want to go to London in England, or if you want to get into Amsterdam, or you want to get into the Mediterranean, and uh, and then there's also Jacksonville, and
Hmm.
you from Jacksonville you'll be able to do some Caribbean and some of the Bahamas. So
Yeah.
depending on when you want to go, those are some of the cruise ports. You can just think about, well, this is where I have to, this is where those kind of cruises are. And that'll help you decide,
Yeah.
can I know I want to travel at this time, but that means I have to get to Florida. Well, if you live in Portland, Oregon,
Yeah.
and you want to do a Caribbean
Maybe,
cruise, you
maybe
got to
not.
get yourself down to Galveston or over to Florida
Right.
to do it.
Maybe just
And
wait and do an Alaska cruise.
and there is New York City and
Oh,
Baltimore. Baltimore
Boston.
has Baltimore and New York. You'll be able to do
Hmm.
transatlantic from New York, but also New York and Baltimore. You'll be able to do
You can
Nassau, the
go.
Bahamas.
Don't they go up too to the other side of Canada?
Well, there's a few cruise lines will leave Boston and go up around and into the St. Lawrence Seaway and come down to like Montreal or Quebec.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's really popular in the fall for the scenic to
The
see the leaves
foliage.
change, to see the
Yeah.
foliage. Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of rambled down there, but you
That's
can
okay.
you can you can rewind this and watch it slow, or in the comment if there's areas you want more detail in, let us know so we can address that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dad.
Here I got this, and I got it today, as a matter of fact,
Tell me.
from a travel agent that reached out to me, and I'm going to give you exactly what the questions they gave me. They want to help me find a cruise. And here's the questions that they asked on their email. Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
Travel dates. How long are you looking to travel for?
Okay.
Do you need airfare?
Okay.
Please let me know which airport you prefer to fly out of. How many adults is it for? What destination do you want to cruise to? So basically, it's the same things we've been talking about. Do you have a cruise line that you have a preference for?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what what cruise port do you want to go to? I mean, a lot of people go in the Caribbean, but do you want to go out of Fort Lauderdale or Miami, which are pretty close, or do you want to go out of Galveston or New Orleans? What's your stateroom preference? Do you want an
Oh,
interior
yeah.
room, ocean view, balcony, a suite? And you're going to pay higher and higher depending on the type of room that you have preference. You can go anyone you want, whatever you can pay for. Good for you. Go enjoy it. Do you have a price point you're hoping to keep the trip at?
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
And when do you want to get this trip to book so you know that it's done? So those are good questions that came
Great.
directly from a
Yes.
travel agent, and they really tightened up what I was talking about. But those are the questions, and they're
Yes.
simple questions. When do you want to go? How many people are going? Do you need airfare to get there? Where do you want to sail out of, and what kind of room do you want? That's basically it.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you answer those questions, you can answer them to yourself. The next thing to do is after you answer those questions, how do you find the cruises? Well, one way is to call a travel agent.
Mm-hmm.
Another way is if you have a specific cruise line in mind, call them up.
Mm-hmm.
But on the next episode, I'm going to show you how to do it on the internet yourself.
Oh, exciting.
There's a few websites out there that are absolutely outstanding and very easy to use and fun to use. Um, One of them is Vacations to Go. Another one is Cruise Plum, which I talked to you recently, right, Tina?
Mm-hmm.
And there's also like, is it TripAdvisor, Expedia, all the
Yes.
typical ones that you might find, like, maybe not hotels.com on a cruise, but those
Ah,
type of websites, as well as AAA. If you're a member of AAA, you can go on their
of
website.
course. Yeah.
Costco, right?
Costco, yes.
Costco has a cruise app,
Yes.
and so those are going to be easy, and they're a lot of fun, easy to use, and it's going to help you narrow it way down before you even talk to a travel professional. And I do encourage people to talk to travel professionals because many times they have access to rooms that the cruise line might say are already booked.
Mm-hmm.
And by that, they mean they've slated those for the travel professionals to sell. So they have access to them and you won't have access to them on their on the cruise line's website. And sometimes they can get you extra things, maybe some onboard credit or chocolate covered strawberries when you arrive. And there's a couple of excellent um, websites for that. One that I can tell you I've looked at ton at is Cruise Compete.
Mm-hmm.
So they really can, once you start narrowing down the cruise and where you want to go and which cruise you want to take, um, you can really get even more information and maybe some extra extras on the house, so to speak. Okay.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, we will talk to everyone next time on episode 3, right?
Yes. Thank you all for watching our video. Hopefully you watched it and share it with others or let others know that you see us because we'd really like to grow this channel because, I believe there's a lot of people that do want to cruise and many of us, especially in more senior age group, we don't want to go by ourselves, but when we find out it's not scary and you can have a lot of fun, that it's
Please,
really a great thing to do. Don't sit home doing nothing. Go on a cruise, have some fun.
please leave us a comment. All right.
Share, comment, subscribe. Have a good time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
Gina. We'll see you for episode 3 next week.